Hey, what's up guys, it is Saiku or Sam here and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm really excited to bring you guys the second episode of survival FPS game tutorial in Unity. And in this episode we're going to be going through the inventory system. So we're going to be using the UI system built into Unity, Unity 5, and we're going to be building our inventory so that we can actually focus on to building other systems for the game. Because as you might know already, a survival game is very heavily dependent on the inventory system for the game. So I thought as soon as we get done with it, we're gonna be able to focus on chopping down trees, killing enemies and gaining loot and all that. So I was like, why not just focus on this first and foremost so that we have it out of our way, right? So first and foremost, I want to download a third-party asset, which is not a sponsorship. I just want to say that right now. It's a free axe model that I found through the asset store. It's a third-party asset, and the reason is purely because I want the player to be able to have a weapon to use throughout the game. And this is just going to be purely for the reason of demonstrating that the inventory works at the end of the game, so that we can equip the axe, throw it away, etc., and pick it up, obviously. So we're gonna start off by hitting up the asset store, guys, and in here you can see that I have this small axe opened up already. I'm just gonna click import, but you're gonna have to download it before we start. So just pause the video if it's prompting you to download before it's not really working together with me, or perhaps it is. Oh, there it is. I guess that's it. Yeah, it is. I don't know why Unity is a little bit buggy for me right now, but nonetheless, you're just gonna have to import it. Yeah, there we go. So it's a little bit late to the party. You're a little late, Unity, but no problem. Like I said, we have the assets now, so it's no problem. And once again, this is not a sponsorship. It's just an asset that I found. It's also free, so why not? Now that we have the axe, I'm actually going to start off by adding it into our scene. Ooh, the material is ruined. Let me see if I can actually edit the... Okay, this is weird. It's a LOD for some reason. Alright. Demo. No, not demo. We're gonna have mesh. Okay, that works better. So we just add the mesh instead of the prefab, because the prefab has a weird texture. There we go. So we just place it here like that, quite simply. And I can change it to global so that we can move it globally. Maybe resize it down a little bit. There we go. And now what I want to do here is I want to make sure that this object has a rigid body, so that it has physics for us to pick it up. And so I just add the rigid body, and I can also rename this just axe, okay? And I also want to say we're gonna add a box collider to this, or perhaps a mesh collider. Let's see if that works. If we enable convex, I don't think this works. I can test it out and see if it works. If it doesn't fall through the ground, it works. If it does fall through, okay, it falls through. Alright, then in that case, we're just going to do like this. We're gonna add a box collider. We're gonna edit the, holy shit, that huge. Okay, like that. There we go. This is going to be terrible, but we don't really have to focus on having the physics perfect. As long as we can pick it up and vice versa, it's fine. There we go. And there we go. All right, let's try that out. Okay, that's fine. I don't really mind it. Maybe we can just drag it up a little bit. There we go. So what I want to do here is I want to copy this component and then paste it as a new component. And this one, literally the only thing we're going to do here is we're going to check is trigger, and we can also increase the size just a little bit. Where's the line? And why we are doing this is basically because we need is trigger to make sure that we can collide with it in a or getting in trigger radius with it, so that we can actually pick it up. And there we go. So we can just unhighlight that. There we go. All right, so for the moment being, that's pretty fine. I'm okay with that. And what I'm gonna do now is I want to add a new cube to our scene. I want to drag and drop the cube into our player. I want to unfold transform and put the position to 0 in every axis. This is going to make sure that this cube spawns at the same position as the player, which is exactly what we want. And now we want to remove mesh renderer, box collider, and the cube mesh filter. So that it's a empty object and invisible. And we're also going to rename it from cube to item database. And why we're doing this is basically because the item database is going to be where we locate all our items, including the weapons such as the axe. So so we're gonna copy and paste the axe, drag and drop it into our item database, put location to 0, 0, 0, and then drag it forward so that the player can see it. And we also want to be able to rotate it so that just as much as we want the player to be, just as we want it to be seen from the player's position. Maybe we can do it like that. There we go. Okay. I think that's pretty cool. There we go. I think that's okay. It shouldn't be any more than that. I also want to rename it to only X. There we go. Or perhaps, yeah, let's just rename it to normal axe. So if I refer to this, I'm just gonna say the axe inside of our item database. So it's gonna be quite obvious that I mean this. Oh, and also we can remove the box colliders and the rigid body from this one. There we go. And the item database, we can move it inside of our main camera too, so that the axe follows wherever we look with the main camera. Alright, so I want to disable the axe inside of our item database so that it's invisible. And now we can clear these, it's not important. Now I want to go to our scripts folder and create the scripts that are necessary for us to work on for creating the inventory. So we're gonna create one script called inventory. We're gonna create one more called item. It's a little laggy. There we go. We're also going to create a last one called slot. There we go. So we can start off by opening our inventory script. Okay, reload. Doesn't really matter. There we go. And we can remove these lines just to make sure. There we go. And I'm going to throw in a comment saying variables. And I'm going to throw in another comment saying functions. When I say we're gonna go in to the variable section and add a new variable, I mean the one a line underneath this and a line above this. And when I say we're gonna go to the function section, it's vice versa. We're gonna go to the functions comment. So it's gonna be quite obvious when I say that. And if you want a better demonstration of that, you can actually watch episode 1 of this tutorial series, because I literally implement this to every single one of my tutorials. All right, let me see here. Before we proceed with this, I actually want to create the UI for the inventory as well, so that we have that done and we don't really have to think of it anymore. So we're gonna add a UI canvas. There we go. We can also rename this to inventory canvas. We also want to add a raw image, and we can change the color to red just to make sure that we can see it on our or inside of our game window. So we just move it here. Let's see, we're gonna have to zoom out a little bit. There we go. We can also rename this raw image to inventory background. There we go. So I'm just gonna resize this so that it fills the entirety of our inventory. That's not what I meant to do. It's a little annoying that it's so big, the entire canvas, because you have to zoom out quite a bit. There we go. We can perhaps make it like maybe gray, or maybe like this type of color. Yeah, let's have it like this from the beginning. It's ugly, I know, it's a ugly color, but it works. So I also have a texture inside of our materials folder here. I'm gonna link the download link in the description down below. It's one that I made in Photoshop really quickly. This is the slot texture that we're gonna be using. So you can download it for free, and you can obviously use it for free as well. It doesn't really matter to me. So now I want to copy and or we can just add a new raw image instead. Should be easier. Where it is? There it is. Okay, so we just drag it forward a little bit so that we can see it all the time. There we go. And we can also resize it. And now what I want to do, inside of our inspector, we want to drag and drop the texture that I made for you guys into the slot here. There we go. And now we can move this up a little like that. And let's see, perhaps in the middle like that. Or else we can just keep it like this. It doesn't really matter. So we're gonna copy and drag, or before we do that, I want to rename the raw image to slot. Now we can copy paste, move it so that we want it as we want the design of the inventory to be, and copy paste and repeat this until we have 5 in a row. If you want more, that's fine by me. It doesn't really matter. It's gonna be the same logic, but you can pause the video and make sure that you have your own design if you want to have it a different way. I'm also gonna copy these 5, paste them, and then move them down. There we go. All right, copy paste. So this is just like rinse and repeat pretty much. And copy paste last one. All right, so I'm gonna highlight these and move them to the middle like that. Cool. Let's see here. All right. I want to make it easier for ourselves, so well, we're gonna keep it like it is for the moment being, and if I realize that we have to change something, we'll return to it. Let's see what we have in the list. I literally have like a notepad open so that we can actually keep track on what we're gonna do next. Makes it easier for me. We can actually start by the coding, I guess, and we'll see how far we go before we actually return to Unity and have to change something else. Yeah, we'll go into Unity instead, or we'll go into Visual Studio. So first and foremost here, I want to say we're gonna create new variables here, okay? So inside of our variables section, we're gonna say public bool enabled, and we also want to say public game object inventory, and we also want to say public game object item database. All right, maybe we can just change this to inventory enabled. There we go. Oh, not right. There we go. Now we're gonna go down to our function section and we're gonna say public void update. There we go. And we can actually add a public void start just to make sure that we have that as well. And now we're gonna throw in the comments saying enabling and disabling the inventory. Okay, so if input that gets key down key code .i, then we're going to say inventory enabled equal to exclamation mark inventory enabled. And this is basically going to check for if we ever press the I key, which is the default one for enabling and disabling the inventory for any game. If you want to be able to use any of the other key code, just put whatever key you want to use in here. And if we do, we're going to switch inventory enabled from true to being false, which means that we're going to switch it from true to false each time we click, meaning that we're going to be able to enable the inventory, disable it, and vice versa. So let's see, we can actually keep coding here a little bit. So we're going to say if inventory enabled inventory.set active true, else inventory.set active false. So we can go to Unity and try this out and see how this works. And before we play, we want to go to our player game object. We can remove this. We're gonna add a script called inventory, and let's see, we're gonna drag and drop the inventory canvas into our inventory, and we're gonna drag and drop the item database inside of our player to there we go, like that. So we can now try and play this, and you can see that the inventory gets disabled at start, and we can enable and re-disable it. So that works perfectly fine. What else do we have here? I don't really think that there is anything more. I also did something before we got started with the video, which I forgot to mention to you guys, but I basically added a box collider to the player, and I made sure that I checked the is trigger key or the checkbox, and I also edited the collider itself so that we have it reach the ground so that we can pick up any items. So do this. And if you have any questions regarding this, obviously we can help you in the comments, but it shouldn't be any more problem if you just add a box collider, make it is trigger, and then edit the collider so that the green lines reach the ground at least. That's the most important part. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Why is this all the time? Okay, we can, there we go. This shouldn't be. So just mark all these lots if you're using the same axe as me, and you just check the convex inside of a mesh collider, so you shouldn't be printing that error anymore, because that's quite annoying. Alright, let's see here. We can also open up the other scripts that we created. So we can start with the item one. We can go back, open up slot. There we go. We can remove these slot, or in the slot script we can remove these lines, and then we can create our variables and functions sections, and we can create our first variables calling them public bool empty. Then we can say public texture current texture, public texture item texture, and then public game object item. Alright, so we can also say void update, and then make sure that we change the current texture to whatever it is, so that we have it already. So we're going to change the current texture to item texture as soon as we have an item that is set up. So we're going to say if item, we can also throw a comment saying changing texture. If item, then current texture is equal to item texture. Or hold on, not that at all. We're gonna say this dot, below using Unity engine, we're gonna say using Unity engine.ui, because this is a part that is required for you to use the UI API. So now we can go back here and we can say this dot game object dot get component, or maybe we can just say this get component raw image dot texture is equal to item texture. There we go. And then else, I hate this, else we can literally copy paste this, but I suggest you write it down so that you can remember the code even better. And item texture this time is going to be current texture. Maybe we can change current texture to slot texture, and then call the slot texture as well. A better representation of that. Alright, so now we can go back to Unity, expand the inventory canvas, highlight all the slots, and oh yeah, we add the component slot, and then we open up materials folder and then drag and drop the inventory slot to slot texture, not item texture. Alright, so we don't have to play with any of these except for this one, so it shouldn't be any problem. Alright, if item, okay. Alright, so we can also say if item, oops, I just punched my microphone or the pop filter. If item, then we can say, we'll probably just say empty is equal to false, and else empty equals to true. Okay, so this is going to make sure that we put the empty to false as soon as we have an item, and when we don't, we're gonna set empty to false. Pretty easy. Alright, so now that we have this done, I'm actually going to return to Unity, we're gonna go to our scripts folder and create a new script called item pickup. The item pickup script is going to be attached to the X that we pick up, not the one in the item database. And the normal item script is going to be attached to the item database X. Okay, there we go. And we can open up the item pickup script. Reload. I don't really save changes to the, yes, we forgot to change. Okay, so we can now just say variables and then functions, and we can say, let's see here, public game object original or item db item. Now that's a very bad name. Original, or perhaps like root item. Yeah, root item is pretty good name. So root item is pretty much going to be the variable that we're going to use to refer to the item database item that we're going to be able to enable when we pick up this item. So the root item is going to be added to the inventory when we pick this one up. That's pretty much it. It took a little time to explain, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really think that we have too much here. Let's see. We can also go to the normal X that we're picking up, go to tag and add tag first and foremost, which is going to be called item. I already have it because I tested this out a little bit beforehand so that I made sure that I have some things ready for myself. And now when you add the tag, you go back to X, click on untagged, and then pick the item tag. So now you have tagged it as item. Don't do this with the one that is inside of our item database. The only one that's supposed to be with this item tag is the one in the one that we're going to be picking up as a player. On top of that, we're going to be able to, we're going to go to player script now. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So we're going to jump down a little bit here, and then we're going to say public void on trigger enter, collider other. And we're going to say if other.tag is equal to player, or not player, item. And then we're going to say print item triggered. So we can try this out just to make sure that the trigger option is working. So we can play the game. There we go. And then we can pick up the item. And we see that the item triggered console. In the console, we see the item triggered, so it's perfectly fine. Alright, so this means that it's working, which is perfectly good. I feel like I'm stupid because we can actually literally do this, guys. Cut this, the public void on trigger enter from our player, and paste this into our inventory script. That makes it so much easier. So much easier because it's literally the same. So now we can say, let's see here. We could also say, we could just make sure that we're checking for every slot in the inventory. So we can say, throw in a comment saying check for slots, and then we can say ray is equal to camera.main.screen point to ray, input the mouse position, and then we can say raycast hit. Then we throw in an if statement saying if physics.raycast ray out hit. Then in curly brackets we can say if hit.tag or hit.transform.tag is equal to item. Or no, wait, not item. This is supposed to be slot. And then we can say print hit.transform.name. Alright, so we return to Unity now. We expand the inventory canvas, pick every slot here, highlight every single one of them, click tag, add a tag called slot, highlight every single one of these again, click on untagged, and then click on slot. Alright, that's pretty much it. So we return to Unity now just to make sure that this is working as well. We open up our inventory. Oh, this is a little bit awkward. Wait, we have to disable that the mouse is not enabled here. So rigid body FPS controller, mouse lock cursor. Could be that. Advanced settings. Okay, let's see if this is working now. Yeah, okay, so now we have the mouse enabled. I can't see that they are. Hit dot transform dot tag is equal to slot. Oh wait, perhaps it's because of because it's a inventory or the UI system. I'm not sure though. It should still work IMO. Let me troubleshoot this real quick and see if we can fix it right away. Tag slot. If transform dot tag is equal to slot. What am I doing? Print raycasting. Just give me a moment here and I'll see if I can fix this. If not, I'm just gonna take a break and see how I can. So it is raycasting. Alright, I'm actually gonna check this out. Alright, so it turns out I'm just a little bit stupid. With the new UI system, obviously, you can't raycast the same way you do with game objects because these aren't normal game objects. So what we're gonna make it easier for ourselves. So we're gonna remove this check for slots line, or the entirety of this code. And we're gonna enter the slot script. So we're gonna finally use this slot script a little bit better. Oops, not what I meant to do. There we go. So first and foremost, beneath the Unity UI, Unity Engine.ui, we're gonna say using Unity Engine dot, let's see here, event systems, I think it was called, if I remember correctly. Yeah, okay. So we're also gonna have to extend the Mono behavior, the class itself, which extends from Mono behavior. We're gonna extend it to iPointer and iPointer enter handler. All right. So this is the what is this? Slot does not implement interface. iPointer enter handler. This is exactly what it is. Huh. Okay, we're actually going to try this out because I feel like this is the one that should be working perfectly fine. Now we're going to do, we're going to create a new void. So we're going to say public void on pointer enter pointer event data. There we go. Okay, so it requires this script even, or this public void. And then we're just going to say print this slot plus this game object dot, or maybe we can just print this game object dot name. There we go, just to make it easy. We're gonna make sure that this is working, so we're gonna return to Unity after we save our script. We're gonna play the game, and we're also going to open up our console, open inventory, and we can see that it's working perfectly fine. Great. This is fine. So it's working perfectly good. Okay. So it also detects when we actually quit or exit the area for the raycast. So it's perfectly good. Or not the raycast, what am I saying? The on pointer enter event. So it's good. It's working perfectly good. So now we can actually code in our system to pick up the items that are on the floor or on the ground. So before we fill up this, we're gonna just throw in 2 forward slashes so that we have a comment there, so that we don't forget about editing that. Item pick up. Okay, so we're gonna open item, the one that we're supposed to pick up, and we're gonna drag in the axe from item database into the root item field. All right, and inside of our item script in Unity or in Visual Studio or whatever IDE you're using, we're gonna say public texture item texture, public. I don't think we need anything more than that right now. We just need the item texture that is supposed to be added. So we shouldn't be in any trouble, I guess. Yeah, we'll keep it like this for the moment being. Perhaps we can like add a custom item code so that we can use the axe, or else we can have a different one, but whatever. Right now we just need a texture for the item. So we're gonna return to Unity, and inside of our item that pops up now, there we go, we're gonna add a random texture so that we can use something at least. Just to make sure that this is working. You can go full ham. I mean, you can download whatever you want from Google, right? But I'm just gonna drag and drop the sample one so that we have a demonstration of the fact that this is working. And right now it's not, so we're gonna make sure that it's going to work. We will enter the inventory script again. And in the onTrigger enter, we're gonna say if other.tag is equal to item, then we're gonna say add item to inventory. Or yeah, add item, just add item, that should be fine. And then we're gonna create a new public void add item, and we're gonna say game object item. Okay, and for the add item that we just called upon, we're gonna say add item inside a parenthesis. Oh, we need to gain the object as well, or we could just say other game object. All right. So now we are getting the item, we're creating a new variable for the item in our parameters here, and we're setting it automatically to other game object that we're triggering with. All right, so we can create a new, or perhaps we can just create it inside of here. So we're gonna say game object root item, and we're gonna say root item is equal to item.get component item, and then root item. Oh, item pickup it was called, item pickup. There we go. There we go. So we're basically setting the root item variable that we just created inside of this function to the root item for the item that we're picking up. And we're obviously going to add the root item to the inventory and not the one that we just pick up, because the one that we pick up is going to be a false or deception kind of for the root item that we actually want to pick up, so that we don't bug the game out and pick it up like 50 times. Okay, so we can now say, I think we're gonna have to get all the slots for our all the slots that are available into our inventory. So we might as well do it here, I believe, or else we could just do it like, we'll actually do like this. Public void start, we're gonna say get all slots, and then we're going to create a new function here, public void get all slots. There we go. And let's see, the item database is one that is relevant, so we already have it too. We can create a new private, or yeah, we could actually say private game object array slot, and in the get all slots we're gonna say slot is equal to new game object in array, or current, like these brackets, the rectangular brackets, we're gonna say 25, because that's the amount we have, the amount of slots we have in total too. All right, so we're gonna say for int I is 0, I is greater or lower than 25, I plus plus. I remember now this might have to be 24, but we'll test this out because we start from 0. We'll test it and see how far we go. And then we're gonna say slot I is equal to, we need to get all the children as well. So we might as well just get everything from the inventory canvas or from the inventory background. So highlight all the slots, drag and drop them into the inventory background, go back to inventory script and say public game object inventory or slot holder. All right. Inventory background. So we can go ahead and highlight the player, and I can, there we go. And oh, whoops. There we go. So we're just waiting for this field to pop up here. There we go. And now we can drag and drop the inventory background to our slot holder, because that's where we have all our slots. So now we will say, I need to see what we have to say here so that we can get all the slots. We could just make it easy and say, let's see, slot I is equal to slot holder dot transform dot get child, and then in normal parentheses I. Didn't work. Transform. Oh wait, I think it's capital G. No? Can I implicitly convert? Oh wait, the transform. Or we could just make it really easy for ourselves and change the slot game objects array slot to transform array to slot. There we go. And then we can say transform. Pretty easy, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. And now that we get all the slots, I think we're done here. And we could also just make sure that we print the slot I dot game object dot name, so that we make sure that at the start of the game we actually do get all the slots. There we go. All right, cool. So it's not throwing any errors either, which is pretty amazing. So it's working perfectly fine. Now we can remove the print line because we obviously know that it's working now. And we can say in the public void add item, we can say for int I is equal to 0, I lower than 25, I plus plus, and then we can say if slot I dot get component slot empty is equal to false. Then we're gonna add item else, or we don't even need a else now that I think of this. So we can remove that, and instead of add item, yeah, well, we can just remove this and say slot I dot get component slot item is equal to root item. Yes. All right. We have to make sure that we're not setting it to normal item, because the normal item is the one we're picking up, and that one is going to be destroyed when we actually pick it up, since we just had to destroy it, so that we don't bug the game out and pick it up like 50 times in a row. Let's see if this works out. And we also have to say, we also need to say destroy item. Alright, let's see if this works. If it doesn't, we're obviously going to try and fix it out, but if it does work, then we're fine. There we go. So we pick it up. It didn't pick up though. It does not pick up because we don't get here. Add item other game object. Oh wait, we need to say if empty is equal to true, because it's going to be empty from the beginning. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Now we can do the same thing and walk over it, so we'll see if this works. Alright, so we pick it up, and is it being set? Yes, but it's being set to every single one of them. Oh, it's because of this. How do we need to make sure to tell the game that we already have picked up the item, so that it doesn't add it completely over and over again. We could try with private bool item picked up, or picked up item, and then or like this. Oh no, wait, we actually have to do like this. Hold on. There we go. And underneath destroy item, we need to say picked up item is equal to true, right? Okay, and we need to check if picked up item is true or false. So we can actually do it here. So if, oh wait, oops, there we go. So we cut this add item line in the onTrigger enter, or onTrigger, yeah, onTrigger enter, and we can say if picked up item is equal to false, then this, or else it's nothing, so we can just keep it like that. Okay, so we need though a, yeah, we need to say like this. In public void update, we can say if picked up item is equal to true, int I or int wait timer is equal to 5, or not 5, 0.5, 0.5 f. This is supposed to be a float. Float wait timer minus equal time minus equal 1 times time dot dot time. There we go. And we'll say if wait timer is equal to is lower than or equal to 0. We can otherwise just say cut this, paste it up here. This is just test, like literally this is just testing purposes. However, this is very bad practice, so I'm actually going to remove this. I'm a little stupid right now. This is a very bad practice because we don't need a timer to pick it up. However, just to try it out with the picked up item variable, we can actually see if this works out or not. So we just play the game, go ahead and walk all night. It still picks up for every single one of them though. This is annoying. I need to see how we can fix this. Okay, I have an idea. So we remove this if pick up item, like that. We also remove it from here. We can also remove the destroy item for the moment. We can go to the item pickup script and we can say private bool picked up. Okay, so we now go back to inventory and we say, let's see. We could just say root item. Oh no, wait, it's normal item. Item dot get component item dot picked up equal to true. And oh wait, it's item pickup. I always forget that. Why do we not have it? Oh, private bool, lol. Public bool. Okay, so now we go back to here, the inventory script, and we can say here we can say if item.get component picked up equal to equal false, then we can call upon this, and we can't use item. We're just going to say other.gameObject.get component yada yada yada. So now we can go back to Unity and test this out, because now we're at least checking for if this is true in the item itself. If it is, then we're not going to be able to pick it up anymore. So we'll test this out. It's still adding to every single one of them. I'll see here for int. Oh, wait, I know what I'm doing. And this, literally this, then this is going to be called upon. Let's try now, because I feel a little bit stupid. Oh, instead of other, we have to say item. Save it, go back to Unity. I feel so stupid today, I don't know why. Yeah, now it's working. Yep, now it's working, there we go. Now I'm proud. My ego is back, boys. I'm so stupid, guys. We can remove this line as well. I am so stupid, literally. I don't even know why you guys are watching my channel anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, like, stay, okay? Don't leave. Basically, what we did mistake here was we were having a for loop that was running until it hits 25 loops. And every single time we realized one of the slots were empty, we were just adding the item. And we were never ever checking for if the item that was the one that we picked up was actually already picked up or not. So now we can also say destroy item, and this should not be any problem at all. So we have now finished the adding item. Now we can just equip the item too. So we can go to the slot for this and say on pointer enter. We can say if input.get mouse button down 0, so the left mouse button, print item. Oh wait, we can actually do like this, and then if item print item dot name. Let's try this out. This is gonna be interesting. All right, we walk onto it. Okay, that didn't work. What if we cut this, paste it here, just that we like put our mouse onto it, and then we enable the inventory. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, so this is working. I feel like the issue is the fact that this is not print test. I believe the issue is that this is not continuous. Like, you'll realize that as soon as we open up the inventory and put our mouse on here, you can see that it's just printing once. It's not printing all over the time, which means that this is only being called upon once. So when we actually say if input.get mouse button down 0, it's not going to be called upon because we obviously don't have it right away. So I'm actually going to check out the API for this to make sure that I don't give you guys any wrong information. Alright, so the fix seems to be fairly easy for this. So we just add a new extension called iPointer down handler. So the down one is basically when you actually click on an item. So this can actually be removed completely because we don't need it at all. So now we can, instead of this, say public void on pointer down, pointer event data, and then curly brackets. And now we can say print this.gameObject.name, or perhaps we can say if item print item.name. All right, we can also remove this one because we're not using the old void anymore because we don't need it. We can actually re-add it. Yeah, you know what, we're gonna do like that. Okay, we add this back, and we can also say public void on pointer enter, pointer event data. Sorry, I actually want to do this again because we can highlight the slots that we're actually, you know, walking over. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So now go ahead and test this out in Unity so that we can make sure that it's working. So we just pick up the item, boom, we click, and bam, so it's working properly. Then that means we can remove this, and we can say if item, then boom. Now we can literally set everything we want to. All right, so we pretty much just say item.setActive true, And then we can go to the item script and we can say public void update. We could also add the variables. This is so repetitive. And then functions. Oh my gosh, this is going to help you guys so much. I feel like I'm a teacher. And then we can say if input.get key down key code.f this.game object gamma object game object set active false. This is because we want to be able to unequip it as we equip it as well. Equip. All right, so we pick up the item. We press here and boom, we have the item up here. We press F, boom, it's not even. There we go. So it's a never-ending loop, as you can see, which is perfect because now we can pick up items. We can add new items to our item database, and it's working perfectly fine. So the only thing that I realize right now is the fact that the inventory, the texture is not perfectly good. Could it be because, oh wait, hold on, we can actually test this out really quickly. So we just walk onto this, boom. We highlight slot. Oh yeah, we're not setting the item texture. I'm actually stupid. So what we're gonna do, unplay the game, please. Unplay the game. Thank you, sir. We can go to slot, and we can say, all right. So if item, we can above this we can say item texture is equal to what is it called? Item dot get component item dot texture. I think it was called item texture, right? Item texture. So this is going to force the game to set this item texture to the slot. Boom. There we go. So now we have the texture problem fixed as well. Now we just have this really small thing. Oh, we highlight that. Convex. Go back to there. Yeah, now we have no errors either. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my 52 freaking minutes of this recording. Jesus Christ, dude. But still, like, inventory is not an easy task, but at the same time, it's fine. I mean, right now this is a very basic inventory, but we can make it a lot more advanced if you guys would like me to. If you have any features in your mind you would like me to add to the inventory or this game series at all, like, I'm still building the ideas for the series, like I'm going with the flow. So if you have any ideas, if you want me to add something to the inventory, to the game series, you know, whatever we're making, let me know in the comments. I'm always responsive, and even if I'm not able to respond and you're asking a question or giving a feedback, my community is there. So let us know in the comments down below if you have anything to add. And also leave a like down below if you enjoyed this video so that you support the video a lot. It actually really helps me a lot. And also subscribe, which is most important if you want to stay up to date for new videos coming soon, so you don't miss any of my new tutorials and, you know, other types of videos. A lot of cool content is coming up, like level designs or speed level designs, commentary videos, a lot of different tutorials, etc. And once again, I take a lot of feedback from you guys and a lot of suggestions. So if you have anything to add, let me know in the comments, and you will be seeing your content being made on the channel as well. And with that being said, thank you once again for having the patience of actually following this tutorial. I don't know if you guys like followed the entirety of this tutorial, but if you did, I want to see a like a proof of that, I guess. I don't know, spam the chicken emote in the comments so that we weird out the new viewers if they haven't watched the entire video. Like they think that we're mentally ill, the entire freaking community. The chicken emote is like a meme on my channel. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the comments with your chickens. Chicken on you. See you guys. Peace out. Bye bye. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might have had your